My name is Peter McDonald. I am the manager of Leafair Community Association and have been, suppose, maybe for the last 10 years anyway. Prior to that, I was the chair of the association. Basically, where it all began was this, as you're sitting on, was garages at one time belonging to the housing executive. There was actually another two out here. They were built alongside the homes that was built here around 74, 75. And suppose the idea was they were like garages for people to park their cars in and things like that. But it quickly became apparent that people in these areas hadn't got cars back then, or couldn't afford cars, maybe was a better word. So then they used them as a depot for the housing executive maintenance team. And that went on till the estate was finished. So we had a very good sort of working relationship with the housing executive through that whole period, to the point I had asked Seamus what would the chances be of leasing these garages as a community base. We moved on here then around 96, 97, somewhere around that. And that was the beginning of Leafair Community Association. And we did turn it into a business, because from here we now have a 3G pitch up there. We have a wellbeing centre, a play park, a lot of allotment areas, which was all areas belonging to the executive, were used as antisocial hotspots. They're now turned into allotments where people come out and work at them. So this is a cultural hub, and it's open to the community for all of that kind of stuff. We have 14 staff here now, paid staff. So not only did we start a community group, we created employment in an area that was very high deprivation, unemployment. And between here and the new wellbeing, we have about 3 or 4 different companies, social enterprises we call them. The Men's Health has a workshop up there that's funded through the Housing Executive Cohesion Programme, and that allows them, men that have suffered addictions, mental health problems. We have at least 42 men on the programme, and they do things like garden furniture, making wood or making benches out of pallets. And the reason that is to stop and burn them at bonfires. We would get community safety money around the areas where we know where the hotspots are. We bring in the young people who work on a project. We just launched, I was saying earlier on, 15 portraits up at the pitches of sporting heroes, the local sporting heroes, people, young people who has achieved great things. The whole ethos behind that is young people here about the area are going on there, can look at them and say, I could be him or I could be her. And that's inspiring. So that was all funded through the housing executive. During the pandemic, the parcels and the food deliveries, we've done all that. We were able to identify what people needed them, and we made sure they got them on a weekly basis. Over 60 years of age at the minute, right? And feeling fine, fit. We're actually working on a strategy of younger people who will take a legacy on to the next level, whatever that may be. But you need to build relationships, not with me, but with the housing executive. The biggest majority of young people in this area are all good young people. There's a handful that tries to hold everybody else at ransom. And we're dealing with that through the community safety teams, which the housing executive sit on, the police would sit on it, we would sit on it, social services would sit on it. They're only part of the community, and when we can work together like that, then it works.